You will train her harder than any Amazon before her. 5 times harder. 10 times harder.
Never let your guard down. You expect the battle to be fair!
Until she is better than even you. But she must never know the truth.
Wonder Woman is about Diana, Princess of the Amazons, and she is getting treated a little bit differently than her fellow Amazon sisters, mainly from the orders from her mother, Hippolyta. And she kind of feels that. She feels different. She's able to do things that the fellow Amazons can't do. You know, she can jump in decent heights. Her bracelets bursts with like this big bowl, you know, of electricity. There's so many things that she can do that her fellow sisters can't, and she feels that. But it all changes where a American pilot, Steve Trevor, crashes onto the island of Pilastera, and the Amazons find out that there's a war going on. World War I. The war that's meant to end all wars. And Diana believes this is the work on Ares, the god of war. And so she feels a responsibility to stop Ares at all courses, and kind of basically kill the link. You know, if you kill Ares, you end the war. Let's not lie, this movie has a lot of things to why on. There's the whole DC Cinematic Universe pulse on the line. You have it being the first female superhero film since Elektra in 2005, and the past female superhero films like Elektra, like Catwoman, like the 80s Supergirl movie, they're pretty bad. They are really bad movies. So there's a lot of things on the line for that to prove like, hey, women's superhero films can be awesome. You have Patty Jenkins, the director of Monster, taking the helm over this film, who's the first female director since Punisher Warzone 2008. It also kind of does the whole thing up to prove that, hey, women can direct big blockbuster movies and do well. And also, let's not lie, the past DC Cinematic Universe films have not been well received. I mean, I really enjoyed Man of Steel. Superman, I walked out of that film super pumped. I was pumped for this movie. It's Batman, Superman on the big screen together. Holy shit. Ben Affleck is going to be awesome, which he was, as Batman. And oh my god, Wonder Woman's going to be on the big screen. This is awesome. And that movie was a disappointment, and we had to wait like 6 months for a 3-hour cut of the movie, which should have been in theaters in the fucking first place, Warner Brothers. And then Suicide Squad came along. And I thought Suicide Squad was okay. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was pretty much like a Fast and Furious film, just turn off your brain. Yeah, so it's a very divisive universe right now. It's not like Marvel where everybody loves them. This is like the starting point, the walking path. And I have to say, Wonder Woman is officially the very first good DC movie that I think people have been waiting for a fucking while. The movie is so rich and so, like, it has very well emotionally moments out through the film. This isn't a movie where you are going to have like 1,000 action scenes out throughout every 20 minutes, and you're all going to go, woo, look how Wonder Woman did that. And it's in there. There's a lot of awesome moments, but most of the greatest moments out through the film is all the emotional moments. You know, between Diana and her mother, between Diana and Steve, mainly between Diana and Steve, because that's kind of the holding point of the entire movie. If these two don't get along, or you don't sense the chemistry here, the movie kind of falls flat and goes into another diverse film. The movie is so rich and so, like, it has very well emotionally moments out through the film. This isn't a movie where you are going to have like 1,000 action scenes out throughout every 20 minutes, and you're all going to go, woo, look how Wonder Woman did that. And It's in there. There's a lot of awesome moments, but most of the greatest moments out for the film is all the emotional moments. You know, between Diana and her mother, between Diana and Steve, mainly between Diana and Steve, because that's kind of the holding point of the entire movie. If these two don't get along, or you don't sense the chemistry here, the movie kind of falls flat and goes into another diverse film. It's the chemistry between Chris Pine and Gadot is spot on. Build the chemistry, and yes, there's a scene where they fall in love, and then you know, you've seen First Avenger, you know how it fucking ends, but it's really well put together. And Gal Gadot, let's not get honest. People were skeptical about her being cast as Wonder Woman when Zack Snyder cast her for Batman v Superman, because you know she was known to be in the Fast and Furious films, and she was, you know, a lot of her, you know, she was this like kind of super skinny, and you know, a lot of people didn't hear about the gym, but you know, people would talk about her acting. She's fucking perfect as Wonder Woman. She's perfect as Wonder Woman. She's able to bring this kind of like the heart and soul and the passion and the wonderful of what Diana is in the comics and on the page. You know, from the source material, she's basically, this is what Gal Gadot is in this movie and in BBS and probably in Justice League and beyond, is basically this. She is just a copy and paste version of what she is, of what Diana is in the comics. That's her performance. And me as a comic fan, and definitely me as a giant DC comic fan, I'm like, this is beautiful. This is probably the most accurate version of a comic book character I have seen ever. I think. This is like perfect to the T. Chris Pratt, I mean, Evans, I mean, Hemsworth, I mean Pine, Chris Pine, Captain Kirk. Chris Pine, yeah, he has this charm towards Diana, and it kind of blends well with the performances. And you know, like, no film's perfect. I mean, there's a lot of dodgy CGI. I mean, when the lasso starts whiffing away, and you know how they use the lasso in very genius ways, but in like the lasso starts whiffing away, you obviously can see that CG. A couple of Amazons, like the you know, it's in the trailers, the Amazon battle, you can kind of sense that being the big, you can sense most of that wasn't real. You know, probably some last minute windows that they didn't fully, you know, rendered that well. That real well done. But the movie isn't about the villains. You know, it isn't about the whole, you know, Dr. Poison and the General and then the Ares. You know, it wasn't about that. It was about, it's about Diana. You know, the movie's called Wonder Woman. It's not called Dr. Poison. It's not called Ares, which would be a very cool movie, but it's you know, it's not about the villain. It's about Diana entering into this world and how they handle the fish out of water stuff. Because let's be honest, the fish out of water stuff, you can really play it really heavily, and definitely when it's set in World War One, there's a lot of like social issues in that era. You can easily do the whole thing of like, yeah, well, let's have Diana turn into like the like big giant feminist, in which, you know, she's, you know, Diana in comics is a justice social warrior, but the way she does it, it's a well, like, natural way. It's not the big bitchy feminist that you think technically that would basically be in a film like this when it's dealing with social issues and stuff like that. No, you know, the lines that Stacey says, you know, there's a scene around where she basically says to a general that that's one of Steve Trevor's bosses, and basically says that you calls him a coward. You know, I'm trying to paraphrase what she says, but basically she calls him a coward, and it's like, where are you, Diana? Why are you not in real life? As a person who has wise and says wonderful things, and it's kind of funny with the whole Fist Award, like her trying ice cream for the first time, her not understanding about marriage, and at that time that, you know, it's very disrespectful if you sleep, just, you know, you share the same bed with a woman that you're not married to. So there's all these little customs that is kind of cool. The action of the movie is, I think it's the best action that the DC Extended Universe has done, probably since Man of Steel, because there's a, you know, that battle between Superman and Zod is like well done. But, you know, No Man's Land, you know, No Man's Land, that action scene is really well done. But there's a scene at the end that all comic fans like myself had been dreaming of seeing since they know about these two characters. It was wonderful. It was wonderful seeing these two characters. I'm going to spoil it. Seeing Diana, Wonder Woman, fighting fucking Ares, God of War, basically her key villain. It was like, oh my god, this is what I've been reading. And Ares, he's basically speaking how Ares is in the comics. And yes, Ares is saying like, come with me, I will destroy you. But who gives a shit? It's basically, yes, there's a big CGI battle, but here's the thing. It's one of those things where you say, who gives a shit? It all comes to the characters. If you care about the characters, you will accept this big video gaming-like action scene of Diana and Ares going head to head. If you're going to say like, I'm going to see like a couple of movies a year, I'm not going to see like every blockbuster out there, see Wonder Woman. It's not super connected to the rest of the DC Cinematic Universe, just because it's, mainly because it's World War I, but guys, just go and see it.
Diana of Themyscira, daughter of Hippolyta. In the name of all that is good, your wrath upon this world is over.